may be seated.
All right, good morning, SWU Nation. Tell you what, I am absolutely jacked up. I feel like this is our season opener. And so what I first need to do is calm down, because Ken gave me a list of announcements. So let me do that first, and then we'll get rolling, okay? First of all, this coming Monday, we had a group from Africa that was going to be here. Unfortunately, they could not get their visas acquired, and so it's going to be Hispanic Heritage Day. And we have Frankie Rodriguez, who is a pastor in Greenville, will be our speaker. And then our very own Camilo Rodriguez will be praying, and then we'll have all the praise band and everything. The music will be in Spanish as well. So very excited for that on Monday. Also, big day Saturday, cross country. Where are you at? This is their one and only home meet. It's the biggest meet we'll obviously have on campus. So 9 o'clock, 9:45. I believe the men go off at 9 and the women at 9:45. Do everything you can, please, to come out and support them, because this is the one and only opportunity they have to show us their abilities for here on campus. All right? Volleyball team, where you at? Good. Hey, tough match last night. Didn't quite come out on top, but had a 6-game winning streak, I believe. So you guys are doing a great job as well. Golf team, where you at? Are you here? What about the golf team? The only non-Division I school, and actually the first event to take place once we were accepted on Monday. They went down to Myrtle Beach. They won the whole thing. Won the whole thing. Zach Casto had a tremendous round. The team ended up, like I say, winning. And, we just thought they were going down to the beach to play in the ocean. I just had a thought of Zach Moore laying on the sand. That was rough. I can say that about Zach because he's adopted into our team, so he'll be okay with that. But a lot of stuff is happening. Thanks to the Chapel House Band. They do a great job. Let's give it up for them one time, all right? I think that's all the announcements that I have. I imagine there's 3 groups of people in here today. There's one group that was reading over the chapel schedule, read that Southern Wesleyan Baseball is having the chapel today. That's got to be a misprint. I'm going to go see what's happening. All right? The second group here was reading over the chapel schedule. Noticed SWU Baseball was hosting and said, you got to be kidding me. I want to see that. And there's probably a third group here that doesn't ever read over the chapel schedule. You just show up anyway to get your credit. So whatever group you're involved in, we're glad you're here. Let me first say that I sent this email to Ken Deal way back in the summer. And it's been a burden. It's been something I've wanted to do for 3 or 4 years. I've always made excuses not to do it. This summer I was reading The Mentor Leader, Tony Dungy's book, for the second time, and we got to do it. We got to do chapel, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. But I sent the email to Ken. I'd love to have seen his expression when he popped that open. The baseball team wanting to do chapel? Are you kidding me? What's going on? But he was gracious enough and excited for us to do it, and I appreciate what he's done, and Bob Kerstetter working with us the past couple of days, and the tech crew up there working with us to get this taken care of. But, it's not about us. It's not about SWU Baseball. We just happen to be the facilitator. We just happen to be the ones up here that are actually going to try to make things happen. It's not what we do on the baseball field. You'll never hear us talk today about what we do on the field necessarily. It's about life. And hopefully it will just give you a little bit of an inkling, not only what we do as an athletic team, but all of our athletic teams, all of our ministry groups, everyone involved, all the praise bands, the university singers, business department, everybody that's involved, Sigma Deltas that's involved in a group on campus, they do a lot of things that we probably don't get a chance to see. And so hopefully we'll just open ourselves up a little bit. We're going to try to make it as fun as we possibly can. We'll try to get you out of here by 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we'll see what we can do, all right? The last reason that I wanted to do this is challenge and accountability. I wanted it to challenge us. Let's face it, for 35 baseball student athletes to host chapel, this is getting out of our comfort zone. This is getting out of the box. So I wanted it to be a challenge for us. Everybody is involved. You met some of the guys earlier. At the end, we're going to give everybody a little small gift. We'll have some that will be directly involved, but all 35 of our student athletes are involved. I'm excited about that. Secondly, it's about accountability. And we've talked about this all semester. You know, we can't stand up here today and say something and then tomorrow act differently. So it's a challenge and it's accountability, and I'm excited about that as well. The other reason I wanted to do this is I wanted to fake out the camera guy, and it worked. All right. Wow, it's 10:15. My guys know our 20-minute team meetings usually run about an hour, so I got to get going. If you received the number 14 and 87, 14 and 87, if you'll make your way just right up to the front here, I promise you I will not embarrass you. 14 and 87, there should be 12 of you. So far we have 2 making their way up. 14 and 87. Also, I need everybody to stand up real quick for me. Stand up real quick. You guys just hang right there for me, if you will. All right, there should be 12. 14, 87. Anybody? All right, let's go 62. Either you guys don't want to come up on stage, you're scared I'm going to embarrass you. Trust me, there's no embarrassment whatsoever. 62. There we go. Last number, 94. All right. All right, you'll never hear this probably ever again in chapel. Pull out your cell phone for me. I told our guys 2 days ago, make sure you bring your cell phones. We have an expectation with our guys that they don't bring cell phones into chapel. If they do, they keep it in their pocket or their book bag. Talk about accountability. If you ever see one of our baseball players with a cell phone in chapel, just tap them on the shoulder, say Mullinax Mountain. I guarantee that cell phone will disappear. Same thing about a cap. If you see a baseball player in a class or a chapel with a cap on, tap them on the shoulder, say Mullinax Mountain. If they look at you funny, then they're probably not a baseball player. Believe me, other people wear caps, okay? So, all right. The coaches will understand that. All right. Most of you guys Twitter. Open up your Twitter account real quick. While you're doing that, I want you to search for @SWU Baseball, all one word, @SWU Baseball. Hit follow real quick for me. We came in at 165. We want to leave it over 200. So go ahead and do that. Once you get that completed, I want you to, I don't know all the correct terminology, but get ready to tweet. So hit that little thing in the right-hand corner for me. Wade, if you'll come on up. Guys, if y'all come on up for me. Trivia question. All right. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tweet this. @SWU Baseball, hosting chapel today. @SWU Baseball, hosting chapel today. Hopefully we'll be trending by the time we leave here. So you got @SWU Baseball, hosting chapel today. Hashtag, here's where the competition goes in. We're going to give you from now until about 12 o'clock, noon today. We are going to pick the most creative hashtag, and that will be our winner. We'll let you know, obviously, via Twitter. You can do anything. Hashtag, @SWU Baseball, hosting chapel today. Hashtag Newton Hobson rocking. Hashtag chapel is the best. Hashtag SWU Baseball on fire. Hashtag I wish that guy would stop hashtagging. Whatever you want to do. Make it creative. All right? Now, here's the next thing. The winner will get a $50 gift card to Walmart. I don't know if Dr. Voss is here today, but he's probably opening a Twitter account right now. $50 winner, gift card. Everybody wants to play now, huh? We got Walmart involved. All right. You guys go ahead and have a seat. Feel free to keep being creative. You can wait till the end of the chapel service and use the hashtag. You're good to go. Let me have our number guys over here. Y'all come on up. I want to introduce Wade Metcalf. He's a sophomore for us. You go to baseball games, you always have trivia. Everybody wins a prize. So we're going to see if you guys can answer a question for you. And then we've got something for the winner. Wade, where you at? Come on up.
All right, guys, y'all ready for this trivia question? Well, I hope you get the answer right. All right, here it goes. Men's basketball was the first sport here at Southern Wesleyan. At this time, our university was actually named Central Wesleyan College. In the first ever intercollegiate contest, name the team that our men's basketball team defeated and the year in which the game was played.
Anybody? I'm just glad Dr. Brockton's not up here because he would know the answer and have a story about it. Any answers? Nope. Close. You want to tell them the answer?
The correct answer is Toccoa Falls out of Georgia in 1970.
You're going to go ahead and hand them this. Let's give them a big hand anyway. All right, we live in a blue ribbon society. Nobody leaves a loser, so we're going to go ahead and give you guys a prize here. Let me thank, while Wade is handing that out, Main Street Deli, located in Main Street Central. They provided 3 $5 off coupons. Subway of Central provided 6 free 6-inch subs. Goober's, located across from Bilo, $15 off coupon. Fiesta Grande, $20 off coupon. And Tiger Pizza and Subs provided free large 2-topping pizza. If you got enough for 2, Wade, go ahead and give them 2, since we didn't have enough people show up. Thank you. Y'all can go ahead and have a seat. No embarrassment there. Good job. Near Sardi's. All right. I'm going to introduce to you Drew Carson. Drew is a freshman from Georgia. And he's kind of going to kick things off for us, and then I'll introduce everybody else that will go from there. Again, don't look at this as being Southern Wesleyan baseball. This is just us, as you are, and we're going to try to just give you a little bit of a look into what we talk about each day as it applies to the sport we play, but also about life in general. Yeah, you just stand there.
How's it going? All right. I'm going to share a verse with y'all, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. It's Ecclesiastes 4:12. One standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but 2 can stand back to back and conquer. 3 are even better, for a triple-braided cord is not easily broken. In baseball, that's a very important verse. When someone comes down to the field and they're not having a great day, their girlfriend broke up with them or whatever happened, their mind's in the wrong place, their mind's far away from the field, and they're coming down there, they're trying to practice. It's very important for us as teammates to help that individual out and get them where they need to be so they can practice to their full potential. It's critical for teammates to be there for one another. And when they see someone that's struggling or they're just having a bad day, it's our job to help them out and help them get to where they need to be so they can practice. And I like to think of the triple braided cord as throwing, hitting, and fielding. We can have guys playing on the field that are incredible hitters, but if they can't throw and they can't field, we're never going to make it. We'll never win any games. If we have 9 guys playing on the field that can field and they can hit, but they can't throw, we might squeak by, we might win a couple games, but we probably won't win many games. But if we got 9 guys and they all bring their talents together, some better at hitting, some better at throwing, some better at fielding, and we bring them together and form a team with those abilities, it's unbeatable. We'll win every game if we have that bond and that team coming together and playing as one, So That's how it refers to or relates to baseball and in people's daily lives. One, standing by themselves against evil, against Satan. It's hard to resist temptation. I've been there, and I've got an accountability partner back home from Georgia. Go Dogs! I've got an accountability partner, and he's helped me through so much, guys. Like, I'm telling you, it's crucial to have an accountability partner that when you're not feeling it, when you're down, it's someone that can build you up and make you stronger, someone that can help you grow in your faith, someone that, if you're not supposed to go somewhere, you can tell them about the situation and they'll help you out and they'll push you through it, and also someone you can get in the Word with, and they can help you grow in your faith, so yeah, that's how it relates to your daily lives. I'm done.
Hey guys. Hola. Entonces, seguimos. La misión de nuestro programa.
Julio. Whoa. Habla inglés, por favor.
¿En inglés?
Inglés. Sí.
¿Seguro?
Sí.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Hey, yeah, buddy. Here we go. Seriously now. Our mission is to embody the principles and practices of leadership organization in the community, classroom, and on the field. In developing a rich tradition, we are boldly promoting our commitment to excellence in conducting our program with integrity, service to others, loyalty, and trust. With integrity, we serve others through loyalty and trust. That's our mission, and we got to apply it every single day, in and out the field. With integrity, we basically we do what we do and how we do. We describe everything, how we do it. I don't even know what I just said. I'm just kidding, guys. I just want to make you all laugh. No, it's an important characteristic of our mission as the basis of what, how, and when we do things. That's our integrity. We got to know how and what and when we do it, so we know that we're doing the right thing. We search others. That is a characteristic that focuses on the true meaning of the principle and practice of a champion organization. Loyalty is a characteristic that is closely related to integrity and trust, but involve being faithful. Loyalty develops depth in a relationship. And trust is a characteristic formed in the internal quality that is the bedrock of character, regardless of the situation or circumstances. I mean, in the baseball field, you gotta trust. You gotta trust your teammates. Outside of the baseball field, in the community, in the classroom, you gotta trust your professor, your teachers, your co-worker, everywhere. You have to have trust. I mean, if coach didn't trust the people that he brings here, I mean, it wouldn't be good. Because coach trusts the things how we do it and what we do. That's what SWU Baseball Program is good. Yeah. Man, thank you guys.
Justin Brew is going to come up in just a few minutes, and he's a freshman, also from Georgia. He's going to give his testimony, and it's very powerful. And I'm going to kind of give you just a little bit of how this kind of led up to this. Just got a text message from Kenneth Wagner, said he's praying for us. We have 4 guys, and I'll speak a little bit later on if we have time about leaving your legacy here at Southern Wesleyan. We have 4 guys that left their legacy. One is pastoring in the middle of the state in Columbia, one in North Carolina around Charlotte, one is up in Indianapolis, and one is in Delaware. And Davey Blackburn, Kenneth Wagner, Christian Chapman, and Luke Seifert all finished up, played baseball, graduated here, doing great things for the kingdom. And they are on our warrior prayer team. And I asked them at 9:55 this morning if they would pray for this chapel. And kind of lead you into why Justin is going to be giving his testimony. Back on August 29th, Kenneth Wagner sent me a text. Coach G, I want you to know I'm praying for you and the men. I just said thanks. Things are going good. Please continue to pray for us. Told him he's doing great things for the kingdom. Then he sent this back. He said, I have this leading in my spirit that there's a freshman that needs to be challenged to be bold with their faith. They're going to be a difference maker on the team. Not sure if that makes sense, but in my prayer time, I felt that. If it does make sense, and you know who I'm talking about, will you tell him Wags is praying for him? I told him, got it. Amazing how God works. I told him his name is Justin Brew. And I sent Justin the copy of the text, and he came by later on that day and said, you know, I was in the Word, I was praying last night, and receiving no answers. And he said, as soon as I sent that text, it was like, there's my answer. And so there's a reason that Justin's here. He's going to share part of that in his testimony. There's a reason that he's giving his testimony. So I'm going to pipe down and let Justin take over now.
Good morning. As Coach introduced, my name is Justin Brew. I'm a freshman here at Southern Wesleyan University. And if you don't remember that, just remember that I'm the little kid with the deep voice. So just remember that. So let's get started. My life is a blessing. It's truly an honor to be here to serve you guys, and I'm extremely happy to do so. So I was born on June 19th, 1995, a 2-pound baby, no bigger than my hand, born at 28 weeks. And for those of you that think, well, what does 28 weeks mean? You're supposed to be born at 40 weeks. That's 3 months premature. And the funny part about that is my mom, she had a C-section, and so they took me out, took me straight to ICU. And so they bring her a picture of me because she couldn't see me for a couple of weeks, couple of months. And so they bring her a picture, and she looks at the nurse and said, "This isn't my son. This is an alien. This is what is this? Bring me a picture of my son." So my mom will sometimes reference me as the alien child, but that's perfectly okay. So I progressed through life, grew up in the church, began my life in the Catholic Church, but I felt it was a little too ritualistic. I was real young. I didn't like it. It was boring. So I told my mom, I said, hey, we got to move somewhere. I really don't understand what's going on here, so we got to go. So we moved, and we moved many times in my life, moved homes, changed situations, and we ended up finding a church in Alpharetta, Georgia, called North Point Community Church. And for those of you that know the pastor, Andy Stanley, that's his home church, and I loved it there. And that is where I was introduced to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, at the age of 8 years old. But that is not at all where I was saved. That was more of just a confession of faith. And so my mom and my small group leader, his name is Russ Stricker, through some things I was going through in my life, began to show me who the Lord was, and as I said, I was saved. So that kind of pushes me through up towards high school. High school, that is a time where you're supposed to find your identity, find who you are as a person, as a man, as a student, what you want to do with your life, that kind of thing. So I walked through that, and it began my freshman year. I did leave out an important detail. At the age of 2, my parents got divorced, so that had a big impact on my life. So as a freshman, I began to find an identity without a man in my life to really push me to where I'm supposed to be. So I began searching in the world, as most of us have, most of us will, and probably all of us have done at some point in our life. And I began to really fall into a struggle with pornography, and that was, man, I had no clue what I was getting into. It began in an addiction, 4 years, and it really tore my life apart. I had no perception of who I was as a person. I remember coming home one night, and I sat in my room, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I just started crying. I was like, what the heck's going on? And I asked myself, I said, Justin, who am I? Who am I as a person? I don't even know who I am. And I had this identity crisis. I had no clue who I was. So that was kind of my freshman year, and I just kept walking through life, moving in the world, just doing my thing. I started drinking, I started partying, going to some clubs, doing some things like that. But what I found at the end of the day when I left was that there was no fulfillment. I was always empty. There was a yearning for more and more and more, and it began to turn into more and more. I'd go look at the computer screen, at my phone, And as I dove deeper and deeper into the videos of women and men doing undesirable things outside of marriage, I found myself become depressed and broken. And so we get to my junior year, in the summer of my junior year, and I'm the type of guy that's gonna portray myself even when life is bad as I'm doing well. And so, I did those things, and I walked through life. People thought I was just this happy-go-lucky kid, but on the inside, I was tore up. I had no sense of who I was. I was broken. My family's messed up. I got plenty of things that are on the horizon, but I didn't know where I was. So the summer of my junior year, I was treated to a dinner because of some extra work that I had put in the fall, and we called it the Silver Star Award from my high school. I had to run like 100 or some extra miles, do all these different things for baseball, and at the end of the year, my coach would treat me to a dinner. So we go to dinner, we go to Chili's, and I love Chili's. I got some honey chipotle chicken crispers, and they were absolutely fantastic, but that's all right. So we go to dinner, and we get up to leave, and my coach looks at me and goes, hey, Brew, you wanna go to Brewster's and get some ice cream? I'm like, oh yeah, Coach, we're going to get some ice cream. I love ice cream. I'm a little kid with a fat body. I mean, with the love of ice cream. So we go to Brewster's, and I noticed there's a group of guys standing over there. I don't want to offend anybody, but a group of African-American males, and they were actually behaving themselves quite nice. So I was like, that's interesting. It's normally not what you see when you're out in public. No need to offend anybody. I'm sorry if that happened. But anyways, so I go to the counter, and I get my ice cream. I got New York cheesecake, ice cream, and a waffle cone. And I get my wallet out to pay the lady, and she says, sir, your ice cream's already paid for. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. So I turn around, and that same group of guys that I saw from the distance has now somehow filtered in behind me, and I see them all sitting there with a smile on their face. I'm like, okay, why are they smiling and looking at me? That's kind of weird. So I go over and ask them, and I said, did you guys pay for my ice cream? And they said yes. And so I sat down, and we just got talking about sports in my life. I'm going into my senior year, what I want to do. I want to play baseball. I want to do all different types of things with my life. So we just got to talking, and slowly everybody that was with me, the 3 or 4 people, all left. But I heard something inside as I was getting ready to leave. It said, no, stay here. And at the time, I just thought it was my conscience just asking, or just telling me, hey, just stay and talk with these guys. But in the end, I found out that it was the voice of God, getting me connected with this group of guys. So I sit there. I get a chair, pull up the chair, sit down, and there's this guy, his name's Dexter. And let me tell you, you'll never meet another guy like this. Like, this dude did not stop smiling, and I mean, literally did not stop smiling from the time that I met him to the time I left. And so he sits down, and he says, Justin, where are you in your faith? And I looked at him, I said, not a good place. I said, I know the Lord, but I just don't have time to do it. And he said, no, you have time to do it. You just don't want to do it. And I said, okay, that's a little bold. You just coming at me like that? I've known you for an hour. What's up, man? So I'm sitting there and start talking, and somehow we get on the story of my testimony. And so I start telling it, and I get to about the part where I said I was born, and I just broke down. I mean, bawling in public, in Brewster's. There's like 10 people standing over there looking at me. All these people are looking at me. I got other people in the group around me crying, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I'm sitting there, and I'm just crying, and each and every single person in the group, about 10 people, looked at me and said something about me that I did not know about myself. And that completely freaked me out. And I was like, wow, okay. So they introduced me at this point in my life to a couple of Christian artists, Lecrae and Trip Lee, for all you 116 fans out there. Unashamed about it now. But at that point, I was big into hip-hop, Lil Wayne, B.O.B., Big Sean, and those kinds of things. But that summer, those 2 months, it was like July and August, I really put that stuff down and began to kind of take a stand for the gospel. So, that's all I listened to. I had about 25 tracks worth of music, and that's what I listened to on repeat all summer long. So I listened to that and really got into the Word all the way through the summer, like I said. But I get to school, And I was like, nah, these people don't know me like that, so I'm just going to drop that. So I dropped that, got back into the world, really dove back in the pornography scene. That messed me up once again. Started drinking, started partying. And I remember it was September 2nd. I was coming home from dinner with my parents, and I get a text as I just sat down in my room to turn my Xbox on, and it says, hey, man, my buddy and I hey, we're going to the club, man. You want to join us? Here's the cover, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, shoot, I'm going to go. So I go, and I lied to my mom. I was like, hey, we're going to Brewster's, so I'll be back in a couple hours. Yeah, that's not where I went. So I go to the club. It's right down the street from where I told her I was going to be, but I went in there, and, we're doing our thing, dancing, whatever. And I got tired, and I was looking around, seeing some strange things, which I won't go into detail about. I get tired, and I go stand off to the side. And I sit there, and I look up, and I said, and so this thought runs through my mind, and I go, he goes, Justin, what are you doing here? And, at the point, I didn't really think anything about it. So I went back out, finished the evening, and I left. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, that was kind of strange. What was I there? Why was I there? So I left with that thought, and I remember 2 weeks from that day, I went to Fridays to meet with one of the guys that I met that night at Brewster's back in the summer. And, I told him, he's like, how you doing in the Word? I said, dude, I'm not good. Not good at all. I started doing this, and this. This has creeped back into my life. And I said, I'm really struggling with knowing who I am. And he said, well, get back in the Word and start searching. I said, okay. So I did that. He prayed for me, and I started getting back in the Word. And, I was reading the Bible, but I still had influences in my life that kept me away from truly understanding what the gospel is and what the gospel was. And so in October, I'm getting ready to go to a showcase up at Young Harris College. This is actually where Southern Wesleyan saw me and began recruiting me. So I go up there, or I'm getting ready to leave and get ready to drive over to my school. And my mom said, hey, Justin, come here, I need to talk to you about something. And I was like, okay. I figure you're just going to tell me that, just relax, enjoy the same old thing before I get ready to go play. And she goes, Justin, your little brother, my brother's 3 now, he was 2 at the time, his name's Daniel, and she goes, Justin, Daniel has a fatal disorder. And I looked at her, I said, what? She said, yeah, he has a fatal disorder. And I said, what is it? Can you explain? And she goes, yeah, it's called Alexander's disease. Only about 200 kids in the whole world have it. And your brother has a life expectancy of anywhere from 6 to 10. And at this point, I'm thinking like, 6? I'm about to go off to college for 4 years. That cat's going to be dead by the time I get back, and I'm going to miss it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. So I acted like I told you guys earlier, I acted like everything was okay, because that's just me. But I left. I left to go to school to ride up there with my buddy. And I remember from the time I left my driveway to the time I got to the school, I turned my music up as loud as I could to drown out any thought, anything, and I just cried. I cried and I cried. People were looking at me as I was driving down the road like something was seriously wrong with this dude. So I get to school, go up there, and I'm mad. I'm like, God, what are you doing? Why are you putting this on my family? You give my brother 4 years to live. You give him this rare disease. I don't know what to do. But through my brother, I found that the world, there's no hope in the world. You can't find fulfillment in the world, because for my brother's disease, there's no cure. There's no treatment. There's nothing. The only hope there is in Christ. And as I looked at this, I said, man, this is the hope for my life. There's no hope in the things that I've involved myself in. There's no hope in really pursuing the world with any type of passion, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you a seat in hell. And who wants to go to hell and burn up for eternity? Not this guy. I proclaim Christ. I'm a Christian, but at the end of the day, I'm a Christian, but I'm living another life, and I don't want to do that. I want to be a person that when I claim Christ, I follow Him, and He's my identity. He's who I am. He's who I live out on a day-to-day basis and walk in line with His will. And when I finally came to that realization, my life completely changed. I began to find hope for my brother through prayer. And, he's doing a little bit better now. He's growing. He's walking. He's still a little bit behind, but, that's part of the process. And I began to find discipleship with younger people, with others. And so today, I want to ask you guys the question before I leave. First of all, who are you? Are you a man, woman of the world? Are you a man, woman of Christ? And second of all, what's your identity? What are the things that you find yourself in when you struggle? What are the things that you find yourself in when things are good? Who are you as a person? And most of all, who are you? Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Justin. Powerful, powerful testimony. And we're running up against the clock, so we're going to cut some things out. We had a thing I was going to talk about leaving your legacy, but Ken, maybe next year you can put us on the schedule again, and we'll do that. What we're going to do now is finish up with the make sure I get this right. The WBPB, the Warrior Baseball Praise Band. And we've got Hamilton Hartzell, he's a local guy from Daniel High School, freshman. Matt Craig over here, senior. Joe Budoff ripping the drums in the back, senior for us as well. And then we added a left-handed pitcher, Madeline. She's on a roster too, so we appreciate that. As soon as they finish, you guys are dismissed. We appreciate it. Y'all been a great audience. Let me give you one little quick thing. As you leave, some of our guys will be handing out an item. We've got some sodas, some Cracker Jacks, some peanuts, while supplies last. And we only ask that you get one, not one of each, but maybe just one. So as you filter out, that'll be just a little appetizer before lunch, just something to kind of close things down. But I'm going to turn it over to the WPPT. All right.
Hey guys. If you would, you can just stand with us as we sing this last song. Thank you so much, Justin, for your wonderful testimony. So as we sing this last song, really relate it to your heart and to your life. So.
It all, my heart is yours. You won't really
you. You are dismissed.